Shalom, I'm Akika David. I'd like to welcome you back to my channel, Absolute Knowledge of the Torah. Today I got some exciting news for you, okay? I want you to know that I've been studying. I have some information. I told you that I was going to prove to you the things that I say, and I want you to verify them, okay? What we're going to do today is we're going to make it nice and easy, okay? This is going to require some homework because this channel is only for those who are serious about knowing whether or not Yah has told you the truth through the prophets, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go to Isaiah chapter number 9, verse number 6. Today, that's a real famous verse for the Christian community. It's a real famous verse for those who want to believe that a child was going to be born that was going to come and take away their sins. But we're going to find out that that child was already born. Yes, that child was already born. That child was Hezekiah. Hezekiah, that's his name. I'll put it up there for you. Okay, when you look at the scroll in the ancient Hebrew text, chapter 9, verse number 6, when you go to the Bible Hub, I want you to go to interlinear part of the website. And when you get there, I want you to look at the verse, okay? That's the only verse we're going to be dealing with today. It's going to be something and easy, but let me get back to telling you why we need to look at this. This channel is for absolute knowledge. I don't want to get on here and tell you something that you already know. I'm only here to tell you what you don't know, okay? Like, for example, we read in Ezekiel that the righteous, if he forgot to continue in righteousness, Yah would destroy him along with the wicked. He would never remember any of his deeds of righteousness. We went over it in one of our last videos. Here we're going to talk about this child that everyone said was going to be born. Well, in Hebrew, it's talking here with the actual grammar. I know everybody wants to go past the grammar. They want to get emotional and they want to get religious. And they just want to read the English and think, well, this is what it says, so this is what it is, and this is what I believe, okay? Well, I don't care about what we believe. I want to see what is factual and what the grammar is. What is the grammar with this in particular scripture? Well, in chapter 9, verse number 6, it begins by saying, Ki Yaled, Yalad, Lanu Bain, Natain, Lanu, Davatahi, the Hamisra, the Al, the Shivmo, the Vayikra, Shemo, Pele Ya'ed, or Ya'etz, El Gabor, Aviad, Sar, Shalom. I'll put that up there for you, okay? So there's 3 verbs in this text that the English translators had deliberately changed, okay? And I'm going to read those to you. The first one is Vayaled, okay? Or Vayulad, Yulad. I said Vayaled, it's Vayaled. It's Yulad, okay? Yulad is the first verb that they changed, okay? They said, will be born. No. There is conjugated as perfect. And in the Hebrew thought, either something's complete or it's incomplete. And in this case, in the writer's mind, he's telling you that it's done, okay? The actual verb that he's using here is called a pu'al, okay? And in the pu'al stem means that it's a passive action, okay? It's passive. It's not an active. It's a passive vowel. I know we haven't done the grammar yet, but you can look up on Google and find out what a pu'al is in Hebrew. It's a passive action. It's the function, how this verb is functioning. It's passive, okay? Meaning that they're not going to be the one who's going to cause it to be, but someone else is going to cause this action to happen and come to pass, okay? The next word is called lanu, which is a preposition, meaning to let you know who this child is going to be given to. And the us there, the writer is Isaiah, and he's talking to the children of Israel. He's talking, to the house of Judah, okay? But also to the house of Israel, because they're still part of the family. Ya'aqov, they're still part of the house, okay? Even though there really was no benefit at this time, there was, the tribes were separated. More specifically, he's talking to Judah, right? Because that's who he's talking to. And he says unto us, a son is going to be given, okay? And then, so the son is the next verb. We know what a son is. A son is a continuation of the house. like we talked about the bet and the noon, house, dwelling, seed, continuance, okay? And he is natain, meaning that verb there is called a nufal. And a nufal, again, is a passive verb, meaning it's a very simple action, but it's going to happen not because I'm actively making it happen, but someone else is going to make that happen, okay? Or has made it happen. And it's conjugated to be perfect. Okay, again, perfect in the Hebrew mind is something that is already completed. Okay? And then he says, lanu, and to us, the next verb will be, and it's conjugated as imperfect. And this is where the confusion comes in because people don't understand the language. It's conjugated imperfect. It says, if you see it says a verb call. Call means that it's a simple verb, simple action. And then it says imperfect, consecutive. So what does the consecutive there mean? It means that when they put this vav onto the front of any word, if that verb was perfect, this vav makes it imperfect. If it was imperfect, the vav would turn to perfect. So it depends on how it was conjugated first. Then when they add the vav onto it, it changes the tense. Okay. So this is where the confusion comes from. Okay. And it says upon his shoulders, his all shikmo, on his shoulder, third person masculine singular. And then it has this interesting next verb that I want to talk to you about. It's called vayikra. And that one there is a simple action, but it's conjugated as being a consecutive imperfect. Okay. So why did it go from perfect to imperfect? Why is it saying that? Why is it going to imperfect? And I'm going to tell you why after I explain the next thing. The next word, if you're following along with me, which you need to do, remember this channel is not for stupid people. This channel is for people who will get some pens, papers, and write, and who really want to know the truth so you can help yourself and help your family or anyone else who wants to know. The reason why it was changed from being perfect to imperfect is simply for one reason. Because when this child was born, they didn't call the child by this wonderful name called Counselor, called the Yo-8s. They didn't call him Yo-8s. He was just a child. They didn't call him El Gabor. They didn't call him the mighty Elohim. Neither did they call him the everlasting Avivad, the everlasting father or prince. Now he calls him a father and then prince, Asar Shalom. So we know that he's a prince. And who's a prince? Who is a prince? Well, they say that Christ in the New Testament is a prince. Well, remember, we're talking to the people in Judah, right? And how do I know this? Well, because when you go to the first chapter, you can read the first verse and it tells you who Isaiah, Yashayahu, was sent to talk to. He was there sent in his prophecy to talk to how many kings? 4. Talked to 4 kings. And he spoke to all 4 of them before he died. Okay. That's why. And Hezekiah was the last one that he spoke to. Okay. So who is his son? This son is Hezekiah. This son was born. This son was going to be grow up, and he was going to take the throne of David, his father, and he was going to become a wonderful counselor and a great, like he was Elohim himself. And he was going to be a prince of Shalom. If you look at the context and you look at what's being said in chapter number 9, verse number 1, it starts talking about we're in darkness, but we see this great light. And who is this great light? This great light was going to be Hezekiah. Why? Why are you saying that, David? Because in chapter number 8, they were already having problems with people trying to invade them, Assyria more specifically. And as Hezekiah grew up, and you can remember in chapter number 37 of the book of, I think it's chapter 37 of the book of Isaiah, chapter number 37, and 2 Kings chapter number 19. What we have an account of the king of Assyria making these threats against Judah. They already had defeated everyone. They've already invaded and took over Israel, the 10 tribes, and had them scattered. And now they were making threats to Hezekiah. And what Hezekiah did was he went and he took the letter that was given to him and the threats, and he presented them before the Most High. And he's the only king at that time that did that. And he brought that in the house of Yah. And he said, here, this is what they said. They're going to destroy us. And Yah said that he was going to, the zeal of Yahweh would be that which would bring this about. Now, for example, it says that, I think in the last verse there, it says that the zeal of Yahweh host will accomplish this. Well, what was the zeal of Yah that would accomplish what? The zeal of Yahweh accomplished the defeat of the Assyrian army. They didn't invade. He actually killed 185,000 people. That's the zeal of Yahweh that accomplished that. And because of Hezekiah's commitment to the Most High, and because of his love towards him, because he trusted him, that's why he got that name. And that's why the people, they turned to him. Yah had never intervened for Israel in any other way like this, except for when he was in Mitzrayim in Egypt. So that's why the people called him those names. People, we got to start reading and we got to start understanding. This is not about religion. Okay, these are about texts and scrolls that all we need to do is just start listening. That's all we need to start doing, is start listening and start reading. But we're not reading. We're not listening. We're making stuff up. You're putting your life in other people's hands. And the only reason why people are going to die is because they lack knowledge. Listen what he says. Isaiah, what does he say in Hosea? My people perish, die for the lack of knowledge. You think knowledge is going to church? You think knowledge is giving money? You think knowledge is quoting scriptures? Is that what you think the knowledge is? The knowledge is understanding what you're reading. He says, my people are stupid. 2 places. Oh, David, you're being harsh. You're being a little harsh. No, I'm not. I'm telling you the truth. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. That's why this channel exists. It's called Absolute Knowledge. The Most High wanted me to share this with you again, to keep building upon the case that I told you. If you're a Christian and you're watching this channel, don't be mad. Just do the research. If you start reading, you take the time, you do everything else you want to do. You do crafts, you work out, you go to the gym, you build your body up, you eat the way that you want to eat, you live the way you get your hair cut, you dress a certain way, you look a certain way, you want to smell a certain way. Why don't you care about your soul? Why won't you sit down and start learning how to understand what this text is written in and what original language is written in? I give you free classes. I'm trying to get you to get it. If you have any questions, you need to put in a comment. That's all this is for. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. It's simple. They changed the verbs. And let me make it clear. They changed it from past tense to future tense to give you the narrative, to give you the Christology that you need so you could believe that somebody died for you. And you keep hearing Yah say the same thing. The soul that sinneth against me is the one that dies. There's no one who can take your place. Verify what I said. Go to Ezekiel 18. Read the first couple of verses down to verse number 4. Both the parent and child soul both belong to me. Each person will die for his own sin. Yah's making a declaration. And why did Ezekiel tell the people that? Because somebody around them was telling them somebody else can die for them. Or that the parents, the reason why they were cursed is because of what their father did. And Yah said, that's not true. I'm holding every individual responsible for their own actions and manner of life. Period. I want to thank you for sharing your time with me today. I'll make this video as short as possible. Go to Isaiah chapter 9, number verse 6, and you'll find out that they changed the verb tenses. Don't argue with me. Do your homework. Praise the mighty Yah.